chat. Thrive going to offer over-unders on the length of this show today?
Someone in Slack asked last night, like, they're over under 3 hours. And I was just like, I wish that wasn't a valid question.
What's going on, everybody? Wednesday, February 13th. Happy anniversary to us. All of us at awesemo.com. Put a year in, and things are looking pretty damn good. So, shout out to everybody that is here in the mornings or at Live Before Lock or during the deeper dive. Thanks to all of you guys for coming to those videos, signing up for the site, and making us as successful as we've been for the past year. Adam, what's going on, man?
Not much. Pretty excited for the final actual real slate before the All-Star break. Excited to play it, excited for it to be over, excited for everything.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. One, for this slate, and two, for the fact that it's like the last one that I really need to pay attention to until next Friday, probably. I don't think there's a lot of games on the Thursday slate coming back. Could be wrong, though. And what, 3 games tomorrow?
Yeah, 3 games tomorrow.
Lovely. Normal stuff. NBA Strategy is the promo code. 50% off your first month with us when signing up. Any package you choose, including packages that have Fantasy Cruncher. So make sure you're picking that. If you want an annual subscription, well, thank you very much, but the promo code won't work for it. But we still want that annual sub either way. We are brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. Go to bit.ly/awesemo. So bad at this. You can get $10 on your first $10 deposit, $20 on $100, $50 on $200. It is a new DFS site based on player props. They give you a list of 20. You have to pick your best 10. And you're trying to figure out if somebody's going to go over or under points, rebounds, assists, a combination of those. And at the end of the show, Adam and I will go through our favorite 5. Don't forget, hit the like button as soon as you get here. Comment after the video, comment to be determined. And you'll be entered to win the possibility of a premium all-access annual subscription. 1 full year, 365 days, $700 value, and we are just giving that away for our anniversary. And that is going to be given away tonight. So tune in to Live Before Lock to see if you're the winner. Ooh, here we go. Lots to go over here. A lot of quality in the late night games. So let's try to hash out what's good in this early bit. Cleveland Cavaliers hosting the Brooklyn Nets. 107 implied total for the Cavs. 113.5 for the Nets. Is that, wow, are they really 6.5 point favorites in Cleveland? Cleveland is that bad, huh?
Yes, they are.
I'll be damned. Sorry, I lost the chat. There we go. We'll start on the Cleveland side. Nice little pace up spot for the slow Cavs. Larry Nance, 7,600 on FanDuel, 6,700 on DK. I have a little bit of interest. He's getting some love. But speaking of love, what do we think of Kevin today?
I haven't seen anything on his minutes. I assume he gets somewhere in the low 20s, 20 to 24 range.
Okay. I went 18 on my first run here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
obviously I still don't have a ton to work with.
Yeah, I still don't think he gets enough minutes to where I want to roster him. It's just more of the effect that he has on Larry Nance.
What do you have Nance in for right now?
Minutes?
Yes.
Like 36.
Oh, okay. I only have 32 right now, so I got some room to grow. Unless we hear that Kevin Love is going to be fully available, I don't think the $7K price tag on DraftKings is going to be getting anybody all that excited.
No, I don't think so either.
58 or 5,200 on FanDuel, 13% expected ownership. Not really getting me that excited on an 11-game slate, but
34 for Nance. Sorry, not 36.
Okay. Any chance that you would go to Love on FanDuel?
What was this price?
52.
It's probably still unnecessary on this slate. You're kind of talking about the same thing as DeMarcus Cousins, like obviously to a lesser extent, but you can only do so much in 22 minutes.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, I can't imagine going there. So if he is getting any sort of ownership, it's not really going to be for me. Jordan Clarkson, I think I'm going right back there again in heavy amounts. 6,200 on FanDuel, 5,300 on DraftKings, $19 on Yahoo. He's my favorite thing for Cleveland, particularly on DK at that price.
Yeah, it's a really nice price tag on DraftKings. Obviously as guys get healthier, I think that he's more likely to play in that 28 to 30-minute range than like 32. But, still tons of usage for him, tons of assist opportunities.
Yeah, I won't be excited about it, but 5,300 is just
I still
too
like
cheap.
Nance more.
You like who more?
Nance.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have to give Nance so many more minutes. I would have a hard time getting to Nance over Clarkson. But it would, if I got him up to 35, 36 minutes, it would be pretty close.
Yeah, I have him at 34. I have Clarkson at 28, and I just have Nance smashing Clarkson.
Yeah, I have Clarkson at 30 right now, so that'll do it. Colin Sexton seems fine. Marquise Chris at 3,900 is fine, but there's not much else here for me. David Nwaba as a punt on FanDuel, I think is okay, but he's 14% projected owned, so
Yep. I'm trying to pull up very slowly. Trying to see how many minutes Nance has played this season with Love on. I'm assuming it's not a lot. It is 28. All right, so not going to pull too much from that. He has a 13% usage rate, 24% rebounding percentage, 16% assist percentage. Again, 28 minutes, not really anything you can take from that.
Yeah, for real. I don't have anything else for Cleveland.
No, it's a bunch of secondary options for me except for Larry Nance.
Yeah, it doesn't strike me as the spot where we need to spend a lot of time with the amount of games that we have going on today.
If Nick Stauskas is in the rotation, that just makes things even uglier.
Yes, it does. I don't have him in right now, but if we get word, God, there's Brandon Knight, Nick Stauskas. What are they doing?
Yeah,
this team's
I assume
terrible.
most of his minutes come from like Damyean, but
yeah, I only have Damyean down to 16 right now.
Yeah.
So now we don't have to worry about playing Mr. 0.36 fantasy points per minute. Let's go to Brooklyn. 9K for D'Angelo Russell on FanDuel, 8,500 on DraftKings. I don't have a problem with the price. 35 on Yahoo. I think he's going to be owned just about where he should be, and I'll probably be around that number. I don't have anything awesome to say about him. He's just kind of there today.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a really good matchup for him, and we've seen some pretty tough matchups lately. But, on a slate this big, I think there's just a couple of spots I like a little bit more. Karis LeVert played 22 minutes last game, and kind of like we were talking about with Love and with Nance, just, as LeVert slowly creeps up in minutes, that probably does take some production away from D'Angelo Russell.
Oh, God. There is a guy I like a lot here.
Jared Allen?
Yeah, he is grading out massive for me. 5,700 on FanDuel, 5K on DK, $19 on Yahoo. I mean, this is a perfect spot for him. It's not like there's some hulking center to worry about. I've got him in for 28 minutes right now, and if he gets that, we have him at 8 or 9% ownership, FanDuel and DK. I'm gonna have a lot more. He fits so well.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, the risk is obviously the minutes, but 5K, I mean, that factors in any minutes risk you want to assign to him.
For real, he's been. This just looks way too good. Cleveland defense terrible. I'll probably make sure that if I have a bunch of Jared Allen, I do have a couple alternate Ed Davis lineups just because. Who's grading out for me perfectly acceptable at 3,500 in 20 minutes. So
yeah, same here.
I might get him just by default without having to do it.
I can almost guarantee I have some Ed Davis.
Yeah. So
really, what do you think about Karis LeVert at 5,200?
So I like him more at the $5,200 price tag on FanDuel.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, minutes are the key. I've got him in for 24 right now. What are you doing?
That's where I'm leaning to.
Okay.
So
what are you doing with Crab's minutes? Because he played like 30.
Taking them away.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. So we saw LeVert, get to 23 minutes, which is great. Of course, DeMar Carroll was out, but if you just kind of think through it logically, and I hate trying to get in the head of Kenny Atkinson because I'm the only wrong, but you would think, looking at this game, you had Trevion Graham play 20 minutes, you had Kurucs play 16, you had Crabbe play 31. You're giving some of those minutes to DeMar Carroll. You're not saying, all right, Karras, like that was a good 23 minutes, go back to playing 16 because DeMar's back.
You would think.
Oh, and Napier played 17 after playing 12 the game before.
Yeah, I have Napier in for 12, Kurucs in for 12, Graham in for 13. I mean, it's just this sea of like low 20s dudes that I don't really know who's going to break free from it. The only guys that I'm confident in are Russell, Allen, and Harris. And it's not that I'm confident in Allen's, but it's just that he's going to get some sort of portion of 48, and it's usually the bigger number if things go well.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that I really get to anybody here. I mean, Joe Harris at 4,600 is a guy that I will have some of. I'd like to have some LeVert. I just don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, I mean, if I get LeVert, I don't think it's going to be in like massive quantities or anything. It's just that price tag is high enough. I mean, he was really, really good before that injury.
Well, he's at 52, right?
Yeah.
Who's around him? Malik Beasley, Jaylen
Jordan
Brown,
Clarkson.
Tim Hardaway, Clarkson, Reddick, Will Barton, Pat Bev. Nobody really getting a ton of
there's a couple
there except for Clarkson.
I really like Will Barton too. We'll talk about that. So I would say, and Hardaway obviously is cheap. It's just going to be hard to get to LeVert. It's one of those where the price tag's nice, and it wouldn't be surprising to see him throw up like 30 fantasy points or something. But there's just guys around him that are going to play a lot more minutes and are productive players in their own right.
I agree. Yeah, Allen's the guy. Allen is what I like the most out of this game. Clarkson,
I think Russell's
DK is close.
Russell's what I like. Russell and Nance are my two favorite plays. Nance just to kind of double back there as far as like game theory wise. I do think his price tag's gotten to the point where if coming up on lock, we have him projected for really high ownership, we can start to look for pivots now. Like last slate, he was my highest owned player, and I didn't really care what his ownership was because he was still like 5,900. Now there's at least pivots around him and guys cheaper than him that you can go to. And Kevin Love playing more minutes probably does have somewhat of a negative effect on him. So I do want to pay attention to ownership with him. Russell's my favorite play from Brooklyn, followed by Allen, just because I think there is a ton of opportunity cost at center today.
Okay. Yeah, I don't disagree. Allen's just grading out like so well for me that I can't shake it. And there's not a ton of value out there right now, so
there will be.
I would imagine as that goes more towards some lower price guys, my love for Allen will drop, but I would still expect to be like double the field on him tonight if he's at 9%.
Yeah.
Alrighty, moving on. Indiana Pacers hosting the Milwaukee Bucks. 107.75 implied total for the Pacers. 111.25 for the Bucks. Very difficult defensive matchup here on both sides, but pace up spot for Indiana. 8,200 for Miles Turner on FanDuel, 6,600 on DraftKings, 28 on Yahoo. Would you rather have Miles Turner on DK or Jared Allen?
Jared Allen because he's 1,600 less.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, same.
It's
for me.
Yeah, it's close though. I mean, I still love that price tag on Turner.
Oh yeah, so do I. Only guy in double digits of ownership on DraftKings for the Pacers would be Collison, Thad Young, Collison, and Bojan. Since I need to say that correctly now, thanks to Laffy. Also in double digits. What do you like most here?
Actually, I just pulled up those projections, and I guess I like Miles Turner more than I like Jared Allen.
Oh, okay. I have Allen way ahead right now.
Yeah, so Turner's my favorite play from Indiana. Not surprising. Then it's Collison and Bojan. But I think it's a good spot for Bogdanovic. We see the usage jump without Oladipo on the floor. And while Milwaukee is a very good defensive team, they do lead the league in percentage of 3-point attempts, and they haven't defended against threes very well. So I think this could be a spot where you just see one of those games where he does really well.
I'm not getting a ton. If he's at 16% on FanDuel, I'm definitely not getting that number either. I think I'm just mostly worried about the Bucks D more than anything. It's really dragging down my projections for everybody on this Pacers side. So I'm not getting anybody more than like 4 or 5%.
Yeah.
Just a tough sell. And, then it's guys like Corey Joseph or Tyreek Evans, and I'm not really excited about that stuff either way. I don't mind using Evans as a punt on FanDuel, but it's not exciting. I don't know. I don't have anything fun to say about these guys.
Yeah, Turner's the guy that I like the most. I think you get another like 32 out of him again.
This won't be the game that people list when we say that we like everybody, that's for sure. Milwaukee side, we'll start on Giannis, 11.9 on FanDuel, 11.2 on DK, $56 on Yahoo. I don't have much interest here.
No, me neither. Same reasons as always. He's really, really good. There's guys that just play more minutes than him if you're paying all the way up, and there's plenty of guys in the mid-range and lower high range to go to today.
Yep.
Speaking of Giannis, the one more thing on Turner, we always try and mention when he has block upside. He's facing Eric Bledsoe and Giannis here, so plenty of that.
Sure. I basically don't get the Bucks today. No, essentially zero Bledsoe, Middleton, Brogdon, Lopez. We're not projecting any ownership to those guys on DraftKings. Giannis, Bledsoe, and Middleton are basically all at 10% on FanDuel. A little bit to Brogdon. I have very little interest.
Yeah, someone had asked in Slack before the show if I thought Bledsoe at 7,100 on FanDuel was too cheap, and it's a bad matchup, but I do think that that's a pretty appealing price tag for him.
Yeah, he's at 12% ownership right now. I still think that's probably a little higher than I would like, but I don't have a problem with it. He would be, my 10th favorite point guard or something at that rate.
Right.
It's just not the game. Let's move on if you don't have anything
Agreed.
else.
Nope.
Boston Celtics hosting the Detroit Pistons. 113 implied total for the Celtics. 105 for the Pistons. 8-point favorites for Boston. Do you assume Kyrie plays here?
I assume he does not, because I don't know why he would.
Yeah, I have him in right now because I don't know what else to do, and it's just kind of weird if he's not, but it would be weird. It would surprise me if he did. Although, I don't know. Do you think he plays in the All-Star game?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know enough about it. So, for right now, I have him in. If he's out, everybody knows what to do at this point. Whether he's in or out, I don't really care about the Celtics.
If he's out, I still like $5,000 Marcus Morris, and I like $6,200 Al Horford.
Yeah, like if Kyrie is out, shares of Morris, Smart, Hayward at 4,800, Jaylen Brown. I think that's all feasible, but I don't think that anybody becomes like fantastic. Al Horford at 12% expected ownership right now on DraftKings. He's the guy that I
definitely
can't
like
get his projection to go up. I don't know what I don't know why.
Bump his assist percentage to almost 30%.
Let me pull up Wowie. Are we talking if Kyrie is out?
Yeah, if Kyrie's out.
Okay. Yeah, I have him in right now, so it's not really going to make much of a difference for what I'm doing. And if Kyrie is in, I really don't have much interest in Al Horford or anybody on this team.
Oh, yeah, me neither. And he is definitely more valuable on DraftKings since you can play him at power forward, and he doesn't cost you Jokic or Towns or Embiid.
Yeah, I wish I had something fun to say about the Celtics right now. I don't. It's not that interesting of a spot.
What's Morris's price on FanDuel?
51.
Yeah, if Kyrie's out, like he's a point per minute guy without Kyrie on the floor.
Yeah. Projecting 17% ownership. We are projecting Kyrie, I believe, to be out right now. Zero ownership on either site. Yeah, it's just not for me today. We'll see when the news
Yeah,
comes
it's
out.
not a very appealing game.
Pistons 10-8 for Drummond on FanDuel, 9,100 on DraftKings. Blake is 9,200 on FanDuel, 89 on DK. I feel the same about each one of these guys on both sites. Anything that pops up is fine with me. 10-8 on FanDuel for Andre Drummond is crazy high. But they are average at best plays.
Yeah, that's where I'm at as well. Obviously, both were good last game. Boston is not the Wizards.
That's an understatement. Kennard for 3,900 on DK is probably the best option of anything here, I guess.
I have Blake as the best option, but it's just still not something I think I get to very much.
Right. Yeah, I'm good here. Nothing else is appealing. No Ish, no Bruce Brown, no Wayne.
Can you not name every shitty value play and try and get them all to go off on the same night, please?
Fair enough. Go Luke Kennard. We are cruising right now. We are into our fourth game, 20 minutes in.
I have a feeling it's going to slow down.
You would be correct. The New York Knicks, well, it's not really slowing down here. Well, it might. The New York Knicks hosting the Philadelphia 76ers. 106.5 implied total for the Knicks, 116 for the Sixers. I think I made that up. Nope, it's a 9-point line. Okay, we're good. The Pistons-Boston game does have a line now. It's 5.5. What did I have it at? I had it at, holy shit, 8. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that Kyrie's not playing. Because I think that line would be a little bit higher than 5.5 in Boston. Going out on a limb. Then the Houston-Minnesota line just came out. Minnesota -3. Good to know. All right, back to Knicks and Sixers. We'll start on the Knicks side. Dennis Smith, 7,200 on FanDuel, 6,300 on DraftKings, $28 on Yahoo. Are you and I both going to have a lot of him again?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I really don't know how not to.
I agree. Pace up spot too. Everything looks fine outside of the fact that, Philly defense is solid. After that,
yeah,
I think we need to have a really big conversation about who the hell is going to play for the Knicks.
Like Kadeem Allen?
Yeah. Did you look through any of the popcorn machine stuff for their last game? I think it helps to shed a little bit of light.
What'd you say?
It helps to shed a little bit of light. Because they went on a bit of a run and they had some really weird rotations in the fourth.
Where John Jenkins and Luke Cornett suddenly played?
Yes. So I have Damyean Dotson in for 28 minutes right now.
That's what I've been doing, and it hasn't happened. But every time I was
tracking on this last game.
Yeah, the game before that too.
Okay.
It's going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's what it is with the Knicks. Like, you can project minutes as best you can, but for basically everyone not named Dennis Smith Jr. or Kevin Knox, it's going to depend on game flow.
Yes. I have DeAndre Jordan in for 28, Mitchell Robinson for 20. That work for you?
Yep, that's my standard.
Okay. Now, the piece de resistance. What the fuck is going on with Mario Hezonja?
I don't know.
I can't figure this dude out. I don't understand when he plays or why. Similarly, I don't know how to manage Noah Vonleh. This strikes me as a game that would get more Vonleh, but I don't know if that matters.
You would think.
So
I don't think it does.
Basically, I think that Trier is useless now. Although if you want to use him as a flat min punt on FanDuel, that's the kind of way that you would want to do it. I don't think Kadeem Allen is going to suddenly still get another 30 minutes. I have him in for 20. Any thoughts there?
I'm kind of back and forth on him. So he closed both halves, but in the first half, he closed over Dennis Smith Jr. That's not sustainable. In the second half, though, when they were on that, kind of weird run where they went on a 10-2 run and then a 6-0 run to close it out, he closed over, I guess take your pick.
Yeah.
But he closed alongside Dennis Smith. So I don't know. I'll probably give him like 26 minutes or something.
I just didn't know who to take the minutes from. What do you have
Hazonia.
Hazonia for?
I'll probably go like, I guess, I'm going to end up projecting more than 240 minutes to this team is what I'm going to end up doing.
Jesus,
And
I
then
think I
just
only have
setting
them.
rules.
I might have typed something in here wrong because now I have them short by a bunch of minutes, which is not my intention. I need to figure out where I went wrong. Yeah, I'm missing 9 minutes right now. Not a goal of mine.
John Jenkins?
Maybe.
I mean, if you basically like auto pulled last game, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he doesn't get 9 more minutes, does he? I'm basically missing him at like the 3 or the 4.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I think he gets 9 minutes. I was just saying like if that's how your baselines were set, that he played 9 minutes last game.
It was just me not typing it in after going through the entire Knicks rotation today.
Okay.
Okay, so I have Hazonian for 23, or 24 rather. Noah Vonleh for 22. I don't know who to give these minutes to. Is it just?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm going to go with for those guys. I'm not giving Kornet any minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, he wasn't going to play otherwise.
Right.
Is it Jenkins?
I don't think Jenkins plays either. Or he might play, but I don't think he's actually in the rotation in a normal game.
You could just as easily give them the Lance Thomas. I don't expect it.
Forgot he was even there. So I'm going to end up basically, I think, going like 24 minutes for Hazonia, like around 22 for Vonleh, probably like 26 for Allen, and then setting rules so that I don't get Hazonia with Vonleh, setting rules so I don't get Allen with Trier or Allen with Smith or Allen with Dotson. Dotson 28. So like Allen's not playing 26 in the same game that Dotson plays 28, I don't think. But I have no idea how the game's going to break out, so I just don't want them in the same lineup. But I'm fine getting some cheap exposure to either one of them.
All right, I think I got that. Now I'm giving too many minutes. I can't add. 24 to Allen, 35. Oh, I gave Damyean Dotson way too many minutes here. I said 28, right?
Yeah.
So that should be a 10. Means I walk back 10 here, so that's 25 and 5. Nope, 25 and 10. Perfect. Okay. I'm good. I'm 4 short, and I don't really care. Throw them to Jenkins, Kornet, Lance Thomas.
Yeah. Now's probably a good time since we spent like 5 minutes on these shitty players. It's probably a good time to point out that I don't think either of us are intending to go to any of these guys with any sort of frequency. It's more just trying to map out how this is going to go.
Yeah, I want to make sure that after I go through that no one stands out pretty aggressively.
Right.
To like prompt me for answers.
Yeah.
I mean, Knox is fine at 4,900, but he's just garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I just didn't want it to be like misconstrued. It's like, oh, we like all these terrible players on the Knicks. It's just a matter of which one goes off.
No, because you can make a case for Hazonia. You can make I mean, like Dotson's probably the guy I like to spend down for the most, especially on FanDuel, where I think that using him at 3,700 and being pretty aggressive about it is not the worst idea in the world. But it's still Damyean Dotson in the Knicks. The only guy that I can truly advocate for is Dennis Smith or Knox. But at least Smith is good.
Yep. Agreed.
Okay. Boy. All right, Sixers. Embiid, Simmons, Butler, Harris. Throw them all in the same bucket. Redick, I guess, too, if you'd like. Do you want anybody here with any sort of volume?
Embiid.
Yeah.
But you still have to compare him to Towns and Jokic, so keep that in mind. As far as the Tobias Harris effect, like Harris really sucked yesterday. I still think that he's a reasonably good play. He's out of the group. I'm really concerned about Ben Simmons because he, at least last I had checked through like 3 quarters last night, he had like 2 rebounds in the first 2 games with Harris, he was losing an average of 6.5 rebound chances per game. And it makes sense because now you're getting no minutes at power forward for Simmons. You have, Harris out there. So I'm pretty concerned about Simmons with Harris being there. Butler, I expect that you see like him and Harris with similar usage going forward. And Embiid, I think, is mostly unaffected.
That all sounds good to me. I'm trying to pull up Wowie for the Sixers. See what
I think you see a little bit less usage for Embiid going forward, but it comes with increased efficiency because it's tougher to double team him with Harris out there now.
That is very true. When did he play his first game? Tobias Harris.
The 8th.
For sure.
Yeah.
Take your word for it.
I've never been wrong.
All right, February 8th to February 12th. Work. Come on, wow, you got this.
6.5% rebound percentage over those 3 games, by the way, for Simmons.
Yeah. What do I have in here right now? Where's Philly? Yeah, I have a much higher number there, so I need to walk that back. Even if you think that, it's basically his rebounding rate has basically been cut in half.
Yeah, like 6.5 is not sustainable, but
no,
it's down for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk that back a bit. Embiid's is normal. Tobias Harris is normal-ish. Jimmy Butler actually up a little bit.
Yes, I had the numbers written down yesterday, so this doesn't include yesterday's game. But through the first 2 games, looking at rebound chances for the season, Simmons has averaged 13.7 rebound chances per game. In the first 2 games with Harris, he had 7.5. He averaged 7.5. Harris averaged 12.5. Butler averaged 7.5. His season average is like 8.3, so he's been about the same. And then Embiid averaged 21, and his season average is 23, so he's been about the same. It's just that you've seen Harris basically take a ton of stuff from Simmons.
Yeah, I'm making little adjustments here while I have it up. Simmons' assist rate also down.
Yeah, he was getting through the first 2 games. He had about 2.5 fewer potential assists per game too.
Yeah, so I just walked back all of that stuff. Usage rate so far through the 3 games: Embiid 32, Butler 18.5, Simmons 22, Tobias Harris 18. So if people are curious.
Yeah.
Simmons this is one of those things where I'm going to be opening this up every day when the Sixers play to continually recalibrate.
Through the 3 games now, Simmons is at 9 rebound chances per game compared to his 13.7 for the season.
Okay. I got to bring down.
So I think he's also been inefficient rebounding. Like he's averaging 9 rebound chances per game, but he's only averaging 4 rebounds per game. So he's probably been a little bit more inefficient than normal there. But I think it's safe to say that he takes a cut in his rebounding rate.
Yeah. All right, I think I've got this adjusted now. So let's see where I end up. Basically exactly where I thought I would end up, which is not really caring all that much about the Sixers because it's really difficult. Yeah, I mean, Embiid, I would go Embiid, Butler, Harris, Simmons, I guess.
I'd go Embiid, Harris, Butler, Simmons.
Okay.
Embiid being the key part of that.
Yes. But ultimately, I don't expect to have much Sixers.
Yeah, I'm with you, which is weird because, like, one of them probably goes off, but...
Yeah, it's just so hard to choose. And then I don't have any interest in Redick, do you?
If I get him, I'm fine with it, but,
right.
You still have Clarkson there, you have Will Barton there. He's never someone that I'm, like, excited to have.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, let's get out of this game. Moving on. The Toronto Raptors hosting the Washington Wizards. 122.25 implied total for the Raptors, 111.25 for the Wizards. This is the highest implied total of the slate. We'll start on the Toronto side in a pace-up spot. Why am I not? Is Jeremy Lin really not on the FanDuel player pool? Nope. Of course he's not. Okay. We'll start at Kawhi, 9,500 on FanDuel.
He's not on DK either.
He's on DK. He's 4,300.
Okay.
9,500 for Kawhi, 9,400 on DK, 42 on Yahoo. I like the $9,500 price tag on FanDuel for having to roster two small forwards. I don't really care all that much about DK for him.
Yep, sounds right to me.
Getting some ownership on FanDuel as well. Similarly, 6,800 for Siakam on FanDuel, 6,500 on DK, $30 on Yahoo, 24% expected ownership on FanDuel for Pascal Siakam, which is currently the chalkiest player of the day. Look, I like Pascal Siakam. I think he plays a lot of minutes, and 6,800 is a perfectly fine price point. That's a really weird guy to be the chalk play of the day on an 11-game slate.
Yeah, he's my favorite player from the Raptors.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I like him a lot too. It's just, of all the guys to get to 24% ownership today, this one feels like a weird one.
Yeah, and one negative to point out with him is that he no longer gets center minutes since Marc Gasol's there.
Mm-hmm.
Still does, everything well, but
yeah. Do you like any other Raptors here? Lowry 8K 7,300 is meh. Ibaka meh. Gasol meh.
Yeah, I mean that's where I'm at. I would love Ibaka if Gasol weren't there and I could project Ibaka for 30 minutes, but that's not the case, and I can't. Gasol's price tag is way too expensive for a guy playing 22. Even if you get to 24 minutes or something. Yeah, Siakam is really the one that stands out for me.
Yeah, I gave Gasol 24 minutes here, and I assume that he sits in this range for a while. There's just no need to beat him into the ground. Like, getting everybody healthier is way more important for them. And Gasol hasn't exactly been a man of health this season.
Right.
He could use, a couple nights where he doesn't have to be the number one option, and he can be the 8th option. Any Jeremy Lin for you at 4,300?
Probably not going to be necessary on this slate.
Yeah, I agree. I would have liked to see his price be like randomly low, like 34 or something.
Yeah.
And then just play him as
Yeah. Like, I might get some, because normally I just do get Jeremy Lin because he grades out as such a good per minute play. It's a good matchup. I mean, the opportunity, I guess, is there. Like, it's a matter of how many minutes are they going to take from McCaw or Norman Powell for him.
Yeah.
So it's certainly something to keep an eye on. But for now, it's tough to really confidently project him for more than 20 minutes.
I gave him 22, actually.
Yeah.
It's not really doing anything either. I took them all from McCaw, essentially.
Right, yeah.
Is Lin better than Fred VanVleet?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, that's just purely my opinion based on no numbers, but
Sure.
and not liking Fred VanVleet, but
Fair.
Yes.
Sorry, EMAC. All right, let's go to the Wiz. Bradley Beal, 9,700 on FanDuel, 8,700 on DraftKings, $41 on Yahoo. I'll probably have some. He's 5% owned on FanDuel, 9 on DK. I'll probably end up having more than that.
Yeah, I think a lot will depend on Satoransky for me.
Yeah, I have him in right now, if that helps.
Yeah. If he's in, I like Beal, but it becomes much more of a secondary option for me. If he's out, I think that you just see, Beal's averaged about a fantasy point and a half per minute without Satoransky or a Wall on the floor this season. So while it's still, a not great matchup against Toronto, I would have more interest if Satoransky sits.
As would I. God, this is a weird ass team. We've got Ariza at 13 and 12% ownership. I think that's perfectly acceptable at 63 and 57. Do you have any positives or negatives about Ariza?
No.
Didn't think so. Bobby Portis, 23% expected ownership on FanDuel, 6,500. I would be like under half of that. What do you think of Portis, sir?
I think that until something changes, like injury-wise, if anyone in this Wizards front court is projected to be popular, you should be underweight on them and overweight on on the other two.
Yeah.
Bobby Portis, Jabari Parker, Jeff Green are three interchangeable pieces where they're not identical in terms of fantasy production. Portis obviously being the best, followed by Parker, followed by Green. But they all can do the same things more or less from a rotation standpoint. So like last game, you saw Bobby Portis play 31 minutes. You saw Parker play 20. Bobby Portis was 6 of 10 shooting from three, and the Wizards were playing catch up all game. So clearly he's going to stay on the floor and play a ton of minutes. If Bobby Portis is not shooting 60% from three, you could very easily see Portis play 26 and see all 6 of those minutes go to Jabari Parker so that, all three of these guys play like 25 to 28 minutes. So it just basically, whenever you have a rotation like that where there's going to be volatility, you're better off not playing the really popular one.
Bobby Portis, 23% expected ownership. Jabari Parker, 12. Jeff Green, 3. You guys should know what to do. It's all right there for you. Now, the key takeaway for me here is that I really do like Parker a lot. I have him in for 24 minutes, and he grades out really well. I might be juicing his projection higher than I should, but Jeff Green is then the natural guy to look at if you just want to get off of that Portis shock. And Jeff Green at no ownership at 4,900 on DK. Portis is at 15. I won't be anywhere near that number.
Yeah, and basically, like, if you talk about the way closing lineup, you most likely will have Jeff Green at center.
Yep.
You're going to have either Satoransky or Beal at point guard. You're going to have either Beal or Wes Johnson at the 2. You're going to have Ariza at the 3. So it's just a matter of, does Jabari Parker close or does Bobby Portis close? And I guess, if Parker and Portis are both playing well, you could have Portis close at the 5 over Green. But so 2 out of the 3 of Parker, Portis, and Green are going to close games. It's just a matter of, which ones are playing well.
So 28 minutes for Portis, 24 for Jabari, 28 for Jeff Green. Any qualms with any of that?
Nope, sounds exactly right to me.
Perfect. What I like to hear. So yeah, Beal for me, Ariza for me, Jabari for 4,600 on FanDuel is fine, but if this ownership holds up, Jeff Green is the guy that I would look at closer, or someone else in this price range just in general. There's just no need to be on Portis at 23%. And he doesn't grade out well for me. Like, it's not like I see that and I agree with it. Like, I think that my ownership cap on him would be like 6 or 7.
Yeah, he grades out as the best out of the group for me. And I love Bobby Portis as a fantasy play. It's just that I can't. Like, if I projected him for 32 minutes, I would get a pretty good amount of Bobby Portis. But
yeah,
I just can't do that.
Agreed. Okie doke. We good here?
Yep.
I will probably have a little Satoransky if he plays.
I can see it.
These next 2 are going to be real rough. The Chicago Bulls hosting the Memphis Grizzlies. I want to make sure I have the right line here just in case one of these teams is under 100 points. 3 and 206, so I think I'm a little light here. Golden State line is out. 3-233. Wow. Either some of these books are wrong or half of Golden State is sitting out. There's no way Portland is 3-point favorites at home.
Cousins is out. Iguodala's out.
I did that, right? Nope. I left Iguodala in. Well, we'll get to that. Even still, that seems weird to me. See, like, Bet Online and sports betting have the Warriors as the favorites here. So, but Pinnacle has it as Portland. Craziness. Anyway, Bulls and Grizzlies. Start on the Chicago side. Pace down spot. I wonder what the history of some of these guys are against grit and grind. Markkanen and Levine, 8,500 on FanDuel, 8K on, or 8,500 for Markkanen on FanDuel, 8K for Levine. And then it's 81 and 73 on DK. Once again, I'm gonna have some Zach LaVine. I hate it.
I agree. Have you checked Memphis's pace over the last couple of games? I haven't because it's just um, a couple of games, obviously, and they haven't even been against like fast-paced teams or anything. But I expect them to be worse defensively and play faster than they have most of the year.
Yeah, I would imagine. I haven't looked to see how it's changed. They're still dead last in my metric. So
Yeah.
Yeah, Markkanen and Levine, I think, are both fine. I wouldn't want heavy volume on anybody here. Otto Porter, 5,600 on DraftKings, projecting for 22% ownership. He's the second. He's tied for the most chalky guy of the DK slate. I again do not want to be there.
Yeah, I mean it's fine if I get some. Mark, like I'm with you. I like Levine again. I think the price tag's just too cheap. Markkanen is pretty interesting to me just because the rebounding numbers are really going up. You're still getting a bunch of time for him at the 5. The price tag also is rising. It's just that he's playing really well.
Did you see how many minutes Robin Lopez played in the last game?
Yeah, they did. Remember on the show, I joked that we were going to get like 30 minutes from Lopez plus Felicio unless they threw Lopez a bone against Brolo and just played him all 30.
Yep. Yeah, so right now I have Robin Lopez in for 24, I have Felicio in for 8, and then I have Markkanen getting the rest.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
36 minutes for Markkanen, 36 minutes for Levine. I'll be underweight on Porter, and I'll be comparable or over on Levine and Markkanen.
Yeah. Is Dunn out or just like he's questionable, right?
I think he's questionable.
Yeah. I mean, if he's out, Archidiakono at 3,500 is fine.
I need to fix these minutes for the Golden State Warriors, dudes. Mr. Rebko probably plays a little bit more. Nope, already gave him minutes. We'll hit that once we get to it. All right, Memphis side. Do you think Conley plays today?
I do not.
Okay. Again, I have Conley in, so we'll have to keep a close eye on Kyrie and Mike Conley. That will change the scope of point guard quite a bit. No Valanciunas for me today. In that, what I mean. Oh my God, I can't even talk today. I am not projecting Jonas Valanciunas to play today. They mentioned that he was probably not going to be playing in back-to-backs anytime soon. This is a back-to-back immediately, so I can't imagine he plays.
Yep, right there with you.
All right.
If he does play,
also fucking smashed yesterday.
I'm so excited that he's back.
Yeah. So I don't see X Cossack in chat anywhere telling me that he wasn't going to be able to play yesterday because of his visa issues. So not only did he play, but he fucking hammered on everybody. Speaking of hammering on everybody, do you see Hazonia's dunk from like 2 nights ago?
No, I watch as little Hazonia as I can.
You're gonna want to go find that like immediately after this. Who did the Knicks play 2 nights ago?
The Cavs.
Yeah, I think it would have been 2 nights ago. I guess since time is shitty in my brain, it could have certainly been against the Raptors, but Hazonia had it was the Cavs. It was on Marquise Chris. Yeah, it was brutal. He cocked it back and hammed on him. It was rough. I didn't know that Hazonia could do it, but he certainly did. Okay, I have Conley in. I don't really care all that much if he plays or not. It's not changing anything for me. I don't want DeLon Wright if he is in. If he is out, which is what we're projecting right now, Wright is projecting for 17% ownership on DK at 3,600. I think that is perfectly reasonable. And I would have no problem going to Avery Bradley if Mike Conley is out. Any issues with what I just said?
Nope. DeLon Wright would once again be like the clear chalk value. I ended up being underweight on him last night and pivoting to like every viable option around him except for Avery Bradley. Not having Wright didn't really burn me, but nobody else around him did well. But clearly it just becomes, a good point per dollar play. He's still really, really cheap. He's productive enough. Avery Bradley was obviously really interesting yesterday. He shot 21 times, made 15 of them. So obviously that's not something that's going to continue. But I went back and watched some of that game until I fell asleep because I was watching the Memphis and San Antonio game. And you did see some Bradley pick and roll with Jaren Jackson and with I think it was Noah out there. So he did have the ball in his hands some. He was handling the ball a bit. That was, obviously good to see. But so my takeaway was kind of like somewhere in the middle where he was getting wide open looks and knocking them down. So that's not something you can always count on. But he was actually, running the offense a bit too. So I would say that he's, probably like a $4,500 player who right now is $3,400 in this offense.
Yeah, I agree.
If Conley's out.
I agree. Do you want anybody else here? Jackson, Rob, Noah?
I like Rab. With assuming Valanciunas doesn't play, he got in early foul trouble last night. He finished the game with like 7 fantasy points. But you have a friendly matchup here against the Chicago front court. Noah, I assume, plays a good amount of minutes, and I like him too. But I think that Rab probably plays a bunch of minutes as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I like both of those guys.
Yeah, I have no problem with Rab, no problem with Jackson, but it's very low amounts. I don't want much out of Memphis. This game sucks.
What do you do? Are you playing Noah?
No.
Really?
How many minutes do you think Noah plays?
Like 20, 22.
I have him in for 18 right now. Rob for 30, Noah for 18, Jackson for 30.
You said Rob for how many?
30?
Yeah, it seems right. He can play some alongside Noah, though. Like, they have been doing that.
I don't know who to take the minutes from. I mean, obviously, if Conley is out, there's just natural minutes to spread out more.
We'll see if they
do. You have slow-mo in?
No.
Okay, I do. So, we're all over the place on Memphis.
They didn't play alongside each other at all yesterday, but Rab only played 11 minutes. So,
oh man, as I have it constituted right now, I can't get to Noah. If slow-mo ends up out, that creates a lot of additional minutes to start pushing down for guys. So, I think he becomes feasible. Do you like him at 4K though?
Yeah.
Really? I guess I don't disagree. Revenge narrative?
He's actually not grading out as well as I expected him to for me.
Is that why you like him, though? The revenge?
Yeah, that's exactly why.
I figured as much. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if I get him to 24 minutes, he probably grades out as a perfectly fine value play. I just need those minutes to open up. Josh just won't play Noah. No, Josh just won't play Noah when he has him projected for 18 minutes. I project him for significantly more minutes, then yeah, I'm going to have him. Right now I have Mike Conley and Kyle Anderson in, so they're taking up 62 minutes. Got to free up minutes for Yuta Watanabe. Look, ultimately, this game blows. It's a terrible DFS game that projects for very little fantasy output, so I'm cool with not having a ton of it one way or the other.
Unless Mike Conley's out.
Unless Mike Conley is out, correct. So we know what to do when that happens. Moving on?
Yep.
We are cruising through this. We're not even at an hour yet. Dallas hosting Miami. 105.5 implied total for the Mavs. 103 for the Heat. Another downright dreadful DFS game. Start on the Dallas side. Luka Doncic, 9,800 on FanDuel, 8,800 on DK, $44 on Yahoo. This entire team is priced better on DraftKings than they are on FanDuel, 1 through 12. I will have some Luka. I won't be super excited about it because of this particular matchup, but I don't have a problem having Luka.
Why do you hate Luka so much?
I don't hate him. He grades out really well. I like him. I don't like this low-ass total.
Luka's like my second favorite play on the slate, I think.
Oh, you're crazy.
On DraftKings, at least.
You're crazy.
What do you have him projected for on DraftKings?
Fantasy points?
Yeah.
49.
Okay, yeah, I'm just shy of 55.
Okay. So, we're comparable. Luka would be like 15th overall for me.
Yeah, I think that, and this is, I'm not actually looking at my whole projections for the slate, but just after having gone through it on the pod last night, I'm pretty sure that Jokic is my favorite play on the slate, and Luka is my second favorite play on the slate.
Okay. It's not like I have a heavy disagreement. This is just a really terrible fantasy game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He grades out, well, like I said, 15th. I'll have probably somewhere in that neighborhood, 15-ish%. So fine with me.
It does scare me how high I have him projected, because I know I'm going to end up with tons of him in a game that I hate.
Yeah. I love that dude, though.
I remember early in the season when, no matter what I did, I couldn't get Luka in my lineups.
Yeah. We had that discussion a lot. Okay. Dwight Powell, 5,600 on FanDuel, 4,400 on DK, $14 on Yahoo. I like that $4,400 price tag, but apparently so does the public.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hardaway, DFS.
Hardaway at 5,100 or whatever. I'm sure I'll get some because he's playing 30 to 32 minutes. He has a 26% usage rate. He's Tim Hardaway. He's probably going to disappoint, but whatever.
Otherwise, I'm good here.
Yeah. Why did Powell play 28 minutes and Maxey only played 22? Was it just Maxey wasn't in foul trouble or anything?
Played 27 minutes the game before that too.
Yeah.
I have him in for 27 minutes.
Yeah, that seems right.
You got it in 3 of his last 4, so.
What do you have Maxey at? I have him at 26.
27.
Okay. And yeah, DFS is fine also. It's DFS. He's 4K.
Yeah.
He's playing a bunch of minutes. I'm sure better value is going to open up throughout the day.
One can only hope. Miami. Ugh. Lots to talk about, though. Whiteside and Bam. You guys know the drill there. I have Whiteside in for 26 minutes. Feel free to do what you want there. He's fine. I don't know what else to say.
I'm probably going 28 or 30 on Whiteside, but that's not a strong disagreement or anything.
Yeah, I can 20 and 22 in the last 2. Not that it matters. It's just
last game was a blowout.
Yeah.
Although I guess everyone except Whiteside did come back.
I don't know what to do with these guys. So
Waiters is still too cheap.
Look, when it comes to Whiteside and Bam, just it doesn't even matter what you project them for. Just understand the relationship between the two and the relationship between other people at that salary range. Yeah, Waiters for 4,300, 20% expected ownership. I don't know why his price isn't rising on DraftKings.
Me neither, but I really wish it would.
You and me both. I just like a lot of little bits of this game. I think every single person is reasonable outside of Rodney Magruder.
Yeah. To be fair, Waiters is averaging 0.72 fantasy points per minute.
Yeah, he's not great.
So I have him grading out as a good play, but nothing that I'm if he's popular, I don't anticipate just smashing the field on him.
Yep, I agree.
Dwayne Wade's the one that's interesting to me. He's never owned.
Well, he's projected to be owned today.
Is he?
16.
Yeah.
Still interesting to you?
No, but he's been 1 and 3% the last 2 times I've rostered him.
Yeah, 4,800 on DK. I mean, if he gets to that 27 mark, which he's been seeing a bit, that's a pretty appealing spot.
Yeah, I mean, I have him in for 26 minutes right now, and I have him at 30 DraftKings points.
Got to figure he's swapping jerseys with Dirk at the end of this one.
Right.
His All-Star game boy. Yeah, look, I can't aggressively recommend anyone outside of Waiters on DK, and the public's already there. Yeah. Otherwise, just keep an eye on what you have coming out of Miami.
Yeah, it looks like
they're the hardest team to project for a fantasy perspective.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Looks like my favorite plays for Miami are Whiteside and Wade. I have Wade at 4,800 over Waiters at 43.
Really? Yeah, I don't have that at all. But I get it. I'd rather. I mean, if they're at similar ownership, I would probably rather have Waiters.
Yeah, I don't. It's Wade for me.
I don't want either of them. All right. 4 games left, all 4 of which have significantly higher game totals. So, 1, hit that like button. 2, NBA Strategy, the promo code, 50% off your first month with us. And when you hit that like button, which I'm hoping you're doing right now, don't be afraid to drop a comment after the video with some of your favorite plays for today. Your favorite play and your favorite fade for today. And if you do that, you have the opportunity to win a 1-year premium all access annual subscription with us for free, $700 value to celebrate our 1-year anniversary, which is today. It'll get announced tonight on Live Before Lock. Denver Nuggets hosting the Sacramento Kings. 118.75 implied total for the Nuggets, 111.25 for the Kings. Nice little pace up spot for Denver. We'll start with Jokic, 10-9 on FanDuel, 10-1 on DK, $49 on Yahoo. Love me some Nikola Jokic here.
Yeah, I don't. This guy should never be near $10,000, and he sure as hell should never be near $10,000 against the Kings.
Correct. Yeah, I love him. I don't have anything else I could say there. Jamal Murray, 7K on FanDuel, 6,200 on DK, 24 on Yahoo. I love Murray.
Yep.
Perfect. 5,900 on FanDuel, 5,500 on DK, $19 on Yahoo. Will Barton. I'm a fan of Will Barton.
I really like Barton. He played 36 minutes 2 games ago. He played like 32 last game. Like him a lot.
Little chalky, 16% on FanDuel, 12 on DK, but I like being around that number. What are you doing with Isaiah Thomas? Questionable today.
Yeah.
Put him in for 12 minutes.
That's what I have.
Okay. Yeah. Don't play him or anything. I assume that Monty Morris is the guy that loses most of that.
Yeah, it's my guess as well.
I don't really have much interest in Beasley. I think that you can make a case for Paul Millsap at 4,700, but really you're just making a case on, maybe he plays 28 minutes today randomly.
Right.
I've got him in for 24 right now, so it's hard to get excited about it, but he's better than the amount of minutes he's playing, which is always interesting. I don't have anything else for Denver. Jokic, Murray, Barton is the key.
Yep. Agreed.
With Jokic being the clear priority here.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, Jokic is my favorite play on the entire slate.
I'd like to throw this Sacramento team in the damn garbage right now. Fox, 7,500 on both sites, 30 on Yahoo. No real interest. Anything for you?
Not really from Fox. It's not that I have a problem with it. It's just that I think there's guards that I like more.
Bagley, 6,500, 5,900, and $25. No real interest for me.
I have some interest in Bagley.
Okay.
The first game after Harrison Barnes got there, he played, I think it was 20 minutes, but he had 3 first half fouls. Last game he played like 32. He took minutes away from Harry Giles at center. He got his minutes behind Bielitsa like normal. It's a big Denver front court, so I think that helps as well. He's averaging 1.1 fantasy points per minute over the last month. I think that he's still a pretty reasonable option. Not a huge priority or anything, but I think he is my favorite play from the Kings.
Okay. I would prefer Harry Barnes, 5,400 on FanDuel, 5K on DK, $19 on Yahoo. And by prefer, I mean he grades out slightly better, but I'm not really excited about that either.
Yeah.
No interest in Buddy Hield. No interest in Willie Cauley-Stein. No interest in Bogdan. I would like to have interest in him at 4,900, but the presence of Alec Burks is making it really difficult. Now that Burks is here, now that Barnes has taken over for Justin Jackson, I really have a hard time recommending any of these guys.
Yeah, it's a mess. I mean, you can kind of throw Cauley Stein into the mix too, just because he's cheap and playing like 26 minutes. But it's tough. I mean, I have Bogdanovich at like 28 minutes, but he probably should be like 26, which makes him, obviously not as good of a play.
I have him at 26.
Yeah, everything with this team's a mess right now.
Yeah, I agree. No need to be here. Minnesota, 117.25 implied total. Rockets, 114.25. I assume Wiggins plays. He's not a type of guy that like sits out a bunch, and I think it was just illness. Or am I wrong?
It was illness.
Okay. Teague in, Rose in, Dario Saric, the new power forward.
Yep.
Cool. Towns, 10-9 on FanDuel, 10-3 on DK, $48 on Yahoo. Yeah, he sucked a bag of them in that last one, but I'll be right back to the Towns wagon here.
Yeah, I mean, it's as bad a spot as you can get for Towns, not talking matchup, but with Rose, Teague, and presumably Wiggins back, we haven't really seen that in a while.
Yeah.
That being said, it's still a great matchup against a Houston team that's been one of the worst rebounding teams in the league since Capella went down. It's not a good defense. There's a ton to like about Towns. It's just not as good as if those guys were all out.
Completely agree. I will have some. I will probably have more than most, and hopefully he doesn't suck like he did last game, because he was some sort of shitty.
I still have him behind Jokic.
I would rather have Jokic as well. Andrew Wiggins, 6,500 on both sites, $28 on Yahoo. I don't mind it on FanDuel. It's a pretty tough sell for me on DK.
Yeah, whatever I get is fine, but there's just guys cheaper. Like Barton's 1,000 cheaper. Clarkson is cheaper. Wade is way cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want Teague or Rose? Teague got big minutes in the return. 6,100 on FanDuel, 5,800 on DraftKings.
How many minutes did he play that game? I don't have it in front of me yet.
I think it was 35, but let me type it in.
Yes, I know he had a good game.
35.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
I projected him for like 26. Like, they're not going to run him into the ground.
Yeah, I had him at 28. Yes, I mean, if I give him 34 minutes, he comes in as a pretty good play.
Yeah, I gave him 32, and I like him quite a bit. Either site, it's obviously more appealing on FanDuel, but he's at 19% ownership. I don't really need chalk Teague here. Rose, 5,700 on FanDuel, 59 on DK, 20 on Yahoo. Again, if I get any part of it, it's okay. And he's not a priority.
I have him behind Teague.
I agree. Dario Saric, the guy we need to talk about. 5,100 on FanDuel, 4,600 on DK, $13 on Yahoo. I put him in for 28 minutes, and he seems like a perfectly acceptable play in the 5K range.
I put him in. All right. So I'm going to give him like 30 minutes probably.
Okay.
So he played 34 last game despite foul trouble. The one thing that you need to point out is that he played 33 and a half. Gibson still played 21.2. So obviously that means that we got some Saric at the 3, which probably doesn't happen once Wiggins is back.
Right. Yeah, that was when I was building it out, I was just like, okay, if I have Wiggins in, there's basically no way that I can't just split power forward minutes.
Right.
They got to be doing some super weird stuff otherwise. Did you give Deng minutes?
I mean, I think he gets like 12 or something.
That's exactly what I have. So perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Love it. All right. Let's go to Houston. $12,800 for James Harden. 11.8 on DK. $61 on Yahoo. I like Harden here.
Yeah. I don't know how much I get to him. Like, I like all those centers more.
Let me look at it here. Yeah, I would rather have Jokic. I would rather have Towns. And then Harden would be next of all of the expensive dudes for the day.
I would think I'd probably rather have Embiid too.
Ooh, really?
I think it's close, but like I have Harden projected like similarly to all those guys in raw points.
Yeah,
Furyk is out.
I have the like I have a massive gap between Harden and Embiid.
Why are you so low on Embiid?
I don't think that I don't know. Let me look at it quick. It's a hard thing to like bounce back and forth from.
Yeah.
10-6 for Embiid. It's mostly just, I have 3 extra minutes for Harden and, a tenth of a fantasy point per minute. The price, the the $1,200 price gap is similar. I don't know. I would have expected it to be a little bit closer, but yeah, I think I would prefer Harden.
Yeah, I have. It's so hard to like project these Philly guys. Yeah, I mean, I have Embiid at like 54 DraftKings. I have Harden at like 60.
I have
So they
Embiid at 52.7. I have Harden at 62.6.
Oh, so you're higher on Harden than I am.
Apparently. 1.63 points per minute today.
1.61.
Okay. What do you have Embiid at then? I have 154.
$1.61.
Okay. That's fair. We're close. How many minutes for Embiid?
34.
Okay, same. Harden?
37.
Same. Fair enough. Okay, Chris Paul, 8,200 on FanDuel, 7,600 on DK, $31 on Yahoo.
I like it.
So do I. 4% expected ownership on DK. Certainly going to have more than that for the however many days in a row that I've had Paul here. Just can't. I mean,
yeah, I don't know that I get a ton, but
great matchup too. Gives a shit about Jeff Teague or Jared Bayless or Derrick Rose or whoever's manning the point.
Yeah, I mean, I've been at like 37 and a half DraftKings points.
I'm 37 and a half?
Yeah, 33 minutes.
34 minutes for me. I have them at 41 and a half. Ooh. Love Chris Paul. Kenneth Faried, 6,800 on FanDuel, 6,600 on DK, $26 on Yahoo. 6% expected ownership on DraftKings. If that holds, I would like some Faried.
Yeah, I've barely been getting any Faried, and it's not that I am necessarily happy with that. I just kind of assume that continues today. Like I have Miles Turner being way better than Faried. Yeah. I really don't like how low I am on these Houston guys.
You shouldn't. Yeah, I like that 6% number for Faried. Like 66. I would much rather have Faried than Wiggins. Thinking guys in that price range. Who else is there for Faried? 66. So yeah, I would rather have Faried than Turner.
Yeah, I think I have Turner projected for like 4 more points or something.
I would rather have Faried than Nance.
I have Nance projected like the same as Turner, I think.
Okay. So many centers here. 69 from 6,900 down. Harrell, Whiteside, Gasol, Ayton, Nance, Faried, Turner, Siakam at 65, Portis, Horford 63, 62.
I have Faried at 34 DraftKings points. I have Nance at 38, and I have Turner at 38.
I have it at Nance 35, Faried 34.5, Turner 32.2.
How many minutes do you have for Turner?
30, I think.
Okay.
30, yeah. So that could go up a little bit. I don't mind having some PJ Tucker or some Eric Gordon. Tucker at basically no ownership. That's just salary filler. As value opens up, that goes away. Do you have any thoughts on Gerald Green at 3,800?
Should I?
Yes. No Rivers today.
All right, that's a good reason. I missed that.
Yeah.
Then,
So,
sure.
and not like I'm trying to say that Gerald Green is like the lock spot of a lineup, but there's minutes there now.
Yeah, I mean, I have him at.
I'm in for 28 right now.
Yeah, it seems right.
At which point, 3,800 is a very reasonable price. So.
Yeah, I agree. What do you have Shumpert at?
25. I could probably give him 2 more if I needed to.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go over like 26, 27.
I threw a random 2 minutes to Gary Clark that I'm going to take away right now and just give them the shump. Done. That does not really change anything, though. Are we good here?
Yeah.
2 games left. We're an hour 15 in. This might be the best show we've done. Just
it helps when you have 11 really bad games.
Yeah.
Or 9.
Okay, Portland Trail Blazers hosting the Golden State Warriors. 118.25 for the Blazers, 115.25 for the Warriors. Normally I would start at Portland, but I want to have this conversation quickly now. You mentioned Iguodala being out. I remember seeing that it was Cousins and Livingston out. I'm not seeing Iguodala out.
Yeah, you might be right. One of those guys.
Okay. Okay, so if that's the case, then I do have Iguodala in, and everything that I was doing before is fine.
Iguodala was questionable yesterday, so I think that's why it was in my head that it was him.
Okay, yeah. They have ruled out Cousins and Livingston for this game. That I remember seeing last night. So, now we can go to Portland. I just want to make sure that we were talking about the same shit. A little bit of a pace-up spot for Portland, but really difficult defensive matchup on both sides. Both teams have been fantastic on a per-possession basis lately. Warriors have been the best defense in basketball. Blazers rather, third best. So a little scary for me. By the way, just bringing it all the way back, Aminu did get some minutes there.
Yeah, he played 33 or something?
Yeah. So interesting stuff.
Another spot for him here.
I gave him 28 today. We could talk about that further. Dame Lillard, 36 minutes for me. 10-2 on FanDuel, 8,600 on DraftKings, and $40 on Yahoo. Man, these are some very, very different prices. What do you want to do with Lillard?
Play him on DraftKings.
Is it weird that he's not grading out all that well for me?
Yes.
Okay. Would you rather have Dame Lillard or D'Angelo Russell?
Lillard.
Would you rather have Dame Lillard or Bradley Beal?
Depends on Satoransky, but probably Lillard.
Okay. Dame Lillard or Ben Simmons?
Lillard.
Dame Lillard or Devin Booker?
That one, probably Lillard.
Dame Lillard or Luka Doncic?
Luka.
Okay. He's not popping like I thought he would. And a lot of it has to do with this matchup of just knocking down his baseline for me. I like the game, and can he bomb in this spot? Hell yeah. Absolutely. We're projecting him for 16% ownership. I just don't feel the need to be at 16 like that on this particular slate.
Yeah. Is that on DraftKings?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'll be over that.
Okay. We have Ben Simmons at 1. I would just rather have Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I don't even have them projected in the same ballpark.
I have Lillard 3 full points ahead, but I'd rather go to Beal at half the ownership. I'd rather go to Russell at slightly less ownership. Well, rather might not be the right word for it, but I don't know. I'm a little pessimistic on Dame here, and I have him in for I'm confident in everything that I have him in for. I would think he would pop more than he does. He's just not.
I have Dame for 8 points more than Simmons, 3 points more than Beal.
He is a guy with a really low standard deviation.
Yeah.
Which does matter for me right now. Which, if you think about him, he is not the guy that you would think would have that. But he's ultimately a relatively consistent player.
I have him at 1.3 points per minute. That's what he's averaged over the last month.
Yeah, so I have him in for this game at 1.2. Last 30, 1.33. But I'm knocking off quite a bit of that from just this matchup.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm treating I'm apprehensive about Dame on DraftKings today. I can certainly be wrong. He's Damian Lillard. Yusuf Nurkic, 8,400 on FanDuel, 7,400 on DK, 30 on Yahoo. I don't have any issue with Nurkic. The problem is that there's 700 centers today.
Yep. Same spot I'm at. The price tag is really nice at 7,400.
He's the best play for me on the Blazers, but
he's second best for me.
Okay. I assume behind Dame. Okay. Yeah, I like Nurkic a lot. He's getting 14% ownership, which is a little scary. There's just too many other ways to go. I can't imagine wanting to be with chalk centers, and we're going to have a very chalky center coming up in this next game that I'm going to have to figure out how to get off of. CJ McCollum, 6,600 on FanDuel, 69 on DK, 27 on Yahoo. No thanks for me on DK for sure. He's pretty heavy chalk on FanDuel. I also don't need that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with whatever McCollum I get. I like this game. I do have interest in $4,500 for Aminu though.
If I gave him more minutes, I would start to get a lot more. So I have Aminu at 28. I know you're going to tell me you have him at 30. Okay.
Yep.
I have Layman at 26. Rodney Hood at 24. Mo Harkless at 20.
Hood has to lose. 20 for Harkless. Hood has to lose the minutes if we're going with Layman and Aminu. So I think that either Layman or Hood loses minutes.
Okay.
And then Turner at like 14.
Yeah, I have Turner at 16 right now. I could easily take that to 14 and give Aminu 2 more minutes. See what that does. If I get Aminu to 30, he grades out as somebody that I would want to have at 4,500, garnering no ownership whatsoever.
I just realized that they staggered McCollum and Lillard last game.
They've been doing it a lot more lately, I think.
Curry almost DNP'd.
And especially now with Hood, I think they just have a couple more ball handling options. Yeah, I have Curry in for 6. I have Myers Leonard and Zach Collins splitting the garbage center minutes. Doesn't really make a difference to me who gets them. Turner is now unplayable. Harkless is pretty unplayable. So I would go Nurkic, then Lillard, and then basically nothing else for me unless you want to punt on Aminu.
Yeah. In order, I have it Lillard, Nurkic, Aminu, McCollum.
Yeah. Nurkic, Lillard, Aminu, McCollum for me. Alrighty. Moving on to the Warriors side. What are we getting messages in chat for? They must be old. They are old. Durant, Curry, Green, Clay. Here we go. The guy that I like the most, similarly to basically every other day that I do this, Draymond Green, 6,700 on FanDuel, 6K on DK, 27 on Yahoo. How do you feel about Draymond today?
I like the price tag a lot.
Yeah, you and me both. I mean, he is. I like him more than I think I like Durant, Curry, and Clay combined. Obviously not from a raw point total.
I like Curry a lot.
I'm relatively indifferent to Curry and Durant. They're both at 5% and 6%. That's like where I think I'll end up.
I'll be smashing Curry's ownership then.
Okay.
I have Curry, like, you saw how much I like Lillard. I have Curry slightly ahead of Lillard.
I have them separated by 0.3 of a point. I like Lillard more than I like Curry.
Curry, since the start of January without Cousins on the floor, has averaged 1.46 points per minute, 33.5% usage rate.
Yeah, key caveat there. I have not made any adjustments for Cousins being out. So that could rise. Or if those are the numbers, then that should rise.
Yeah. How many minutes do you have for Kevon Looney?
20. What are you thinking?
26.
Okay. I gave Jordan Bell run.
That was kind of just a number I pulled off the top of my head, but
I pull Bell to 8 and go to 24 on Looney. I mean, it's going to take... You need to give him every bit of those minutes to make it like super reasonable. Holy shit. He's been at 1.11 fantasy points per minute over the last 30 days. I have him nowhere near that. I've got him 0.87. And he is highlighted with a, hey, you should take a look at this shit mark. So he's a 0.97 guy for his career. Yeah, do I have any adjustments to him? No. Yeah, I'll probably end up thinking Looney looks a little bit better by the time this is done. I'll like Curry a little bit more. I will need to go through all of this, but I can't imagine any changes mattering all that much to Draymond, and he is pretty clearly the guy that I want the most here.
Yeah. So Looney played 12 minutes last night. He dealt with fouls. He more or less has been the direct backup to Cousins. Like 2 games ago, I don't think Draymond played a single minute at the 5, and it was just Cousins and Looney. So I'm pretty excited about Looney here.
Who the fuck is Will Cherry?
I don't know.
I don't know how NBA Wowie like builds out their player list, but there's really weird dudes that are in the drop down. Like I think Spoelstra shows up for the Heat for some reason.
Is that like going through projections on Saturday and Josh Engelman is on a team?
Yes. There's a reason behind that. Well, sometimes it like for the Cavs, Mark Price was in there for a while. When stuff gets moved around, I don't want guys to get double counted, so I just need like some name to take up that other name. But when if you delete it, because of the way that like all of my sum formulas are in there, the sheet starts to get kind of slow. So I just replace it with my name or like something that I know won't get pulled up. So I either use like old players that aren't in the league anymore or myself. Tom's made the same joke too. Like, oh, you still holding out hopes for your NBA career? And it's just here we go. Now I'm getting roasted for this shit. But I don't know. Will Cherry is the bottom name in the Warriors list. I'm pulling them up now. Nope, probably need to change the date. I don't need this from just February 8th like the stupid Sixers.
Oh, right, yeah.
Probably not going to glean a lot of information from the Warriors in their last 3 games with Cousins off, all 8 possessions or whatever that these guys would have. All right, no Livingston, no Curry. I guess the beginning of the season is fine, right? There's no...
The only thing, and I'm trying to pull it up now because I don't remember where it left off at. Before Cousins came back, Kerr had changed his rotation and was staggering Durant and Curry, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to see what they did the last game that Cousins sat.
Alrighty, Curry 7-3 and 3-7. I'm fine with that. Draymond. Wow, I never realized Draymond's assist rate was as high as it is, and it's even higher in this scenario.
Yeah, it's like 31%. Has Cousins sat a game since coming back?
Not that I'm aware of. No, he hasn't.
Yeah. Okay.
January 18th is the day that he got back, if that helps you at all.
Right. Yeah, no, I was hoping we could find one, but I saw Looney hadn't started a game, so I figured that he hadn't.
Dude, if I adjusted these rates even more for Draymond, I don't even know how much I would get of him, but it would be a shit ton. Everything I'm making changes to is just like, oh, Draymond's rates are better than that still. All right. Usage rate. Since the beginning of the season, no Cousins, no Livingston. Curry at just under 30%. 29.9. I have him in here for 29.8, so probably don't need to make any real tweaks. Draymond is good. Durant is 31.3. That could go down. Yeah, I don't think that I'm going to be making all that many changes to Curry. A lot of that is just defensive, but unless you have more data on them being staggered.
No, I mean I don't know what they're going to do there, but since the start of January, Curry and Durant have played 386 minutes without Cousins. Curry's got a 33.8% usage rate. He's averaged 1.5 points per minute.
Okay. Yeah, let me look at it since January 18th. That seems at least mildly relevant. Come on, Wowie. Come on, Wowie. There we go. 337 possessions, 1.4 fantasy points, 31.8 usage. So I will comfortably go higher now. Assist rate. No, that hasn't changed all that much. Cut his turnover rate though. I guess helps. Draymond's number is getting even bigger and bigger. I can't get away from this dude today. Not that I'm upset about it. Yeah, I'm warming up to Curry a little bit more, as I should do. I think he's been a little hot shooting as well.
Yeah, that's kind of an understatement, I think.
Okay. Because once I put those rates in, like seeing how my fantasy points per minute rate corresponds to the fantasy points that he's put up in that, generally they'll end up being pretty close. And if there's a swing, it's usually related to pace, defense, or the fact that he's just on a heater. I rarely change any of my regressed like shooting percentages. I assume that is something that I shouldn't touch.
Yeah. I actually have him at exactly 1.46 points per minute with my projection tonight, and that's what he has averaged since the start of January without Cousins.
I have 2 full tenths of a point off of that.
So you're at, what, 1.3?
I'm at 126. You said you're at 1.46?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would, even just taking that number, I'm lopping off 5% for the Blazers defense, so that would take me into like the 1.3s, so we're getting there. I'll assume that I'm missing something mild. Yeah, look, I like Curry, but it's still the Draymond show for me.
Yeah, I have Curry number 1, Dre number 2, Durant number 3, Looney number 4, Thompson number 5.
Yeah, Dre, Curry, Durant, Thompson, Looney for me. Here we go. Do we have anything else here? I think we've kind of hit on everybody.
Yeah, I think that's yeah. I mean, if Iguodala plays and gets like 24 minutes, he's fine, I guess. But I'd rather play Looney.
Yeah, I have him in for 26 minutes, and I have no interest. Final game. Late night hammer. Los Angeles Clippers hosting the Phoenix Suns. 118.75 implied total for the Clips. 109.25 for the Suns. We'll start on the LA side. A little bit of a pace-up spot. Obviously, a fantastic defensive matchup. The Suns are dreadful. Montrezl Harrell, 7,800 on FanDuel, 6,900 on DK, 25 on Yahoo. The $25 price on Yahoo is fantastic. I love Harrell here. I also am projecting him massively, so I need to look at this. Yeah, I don't even know how to make a change to this. What do you think of Harrell today?
I like him, but I doubt I get very much. Like I like the spot. I like him as a player.
I have him grading out as a 1.32 fantasy point per minute guy for today.
I have him at 1.28.
Okay.
I have him at 28 minutes.
Yeah, I have him at 30. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of Harrell, I think. Gallo, 6,700 on FanDuel, 7K on DK, 24 on Yahoo. I don't love it. I like it a lot more on FanDuel, clearly.
I have him ahead of Harrell. I have him in for 33 minutes.
I have him in for 30. Why are you giving him 33 minutes?
Because I think he plays 33 minutes.
What has kept him out of 30 minutes in the first 3 games back?
Well, he played like 30 his second game.
I've got 26, 29, and 20 here.
Yeah.
So I just don't see them going to 33 for him. I don't know. Maybe I have some sort of bias in my own head.
I mean, he was playing 34 minutes pretty consistently before the injury. The whole first unit basically played a shortened shift to start the third quarter because Minnesota opened the quarter on a 15-2 run.
Okay.
I don't really know why he didn't play more in the first half.
I just gave him 2 more minutes.
Yeah, maybe 33 is a little high. I'll go to like 32 or 31 or something.
And if I do that, I mean, he's at 1% expected ownership on DK, then I end up liking him quite a bit. And he's relatively chalky on FanDuel, and I think that's reasonable. You really need every one of those minutes, though, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, if I cut him to like 31, then he becomes pretty mediocre.
Yeah. It's a scary spot. Now that you say that, I'm going to give him 31 just so that I don't go crazy because I don't really like the idea of it. Those minutes are very, very important to his grade right now. And I'd rather err on the side of caution than thinking that he's just going to suddenly play 30-plus minutes on the last game before the All-Star break.
Yeah, I might end up just... Yeah, I'll go 30 or 31.
Okay. Lou Will is 8,100 on FanDuel. I'm going to go ahead and pass on that number. I think he's fine at 7,100 on DK, but nothing crazy. This is a lot of filler. A lot of guys in like the 8% target range for me. Errol, Gallo, Will, Bev, SGA, Zubac, Jermichael Green at 3,400. I think is someone that I think is a little interesting.
I'm way higher on Lou Will than you.
How many minutes?
I have him at 28, and he's still like smashing.
What in the world are you projecting him for?
His rates without Tobias Harris.
Not what I mean. I mean, clearly I agree with you. I would have assumed you were going with the rates with Tobias Harris. Do you mind telling me what those rates are, at least from a fantasy point per minute guy?
Fantasy points per minute, I have him at, not that, 1.46.
Yeah, okay, so I'm at 1.26. He's at 128 over the last 30 days. I've got him at 32% usage for the game.
I have him at 35.5.
Jesus Christ.
He's played 668 minutes without Harris this year. 1.37 points per minute. 35.5% usage rate. 35.5% assist percentage.
I gave him another percentage point. I can't get him higher than 1.3 here, even though Phoenix is a fantastic spot. He can play more than 28 minutes, which I think is probably the piece that is most interesting.
Yeah, that's why I'm cool with how high I have him projected.
Yeah, I don't blame you there.
Also, I just realized I was using the wrong rates for Gallo, so I'm much lower on him now.
Cool. But seriously, Harold, Gallo, Lou Will, Beverly, SGA, Zubac, Green, like I think all of those guys are relatively comparable on DK.
Yeah, I think Zubac is a pretty interesting tournament play because he was really popular last slate and just played like shit and didn't really get minutes. I mean, this is a spot though. It's a good spot. Like I have him projected for 22 minutes again.
You have him in for 20 right now. If I gave him 22, I'd get him even more.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not like I haven't met anything crazy. It's just if you need a value guy with upside, he's certainly it.
Right. I don't have anybody that I want to prioritize. I just want to have a lot of pieces of this Clippers team because Phoenix sucks.
Yeah, I would say $7,100 Lou is pretty clearly my highest owned guy here, followed by like Zoo or Harrell.
Yeah, Harrell's my guy here.
I guess, I mean, yeah, 3,400 for Jermichael Green.
Yeah, he's my number 2 for the Clippers right now. I have him in for 20 minutes.
So do I.
Tasty. All right, let's talk Phoenix because this one's kind of nuts. 7,400 on FanDuel, 6,700 on DraftKings, $28 on Yahoo. I think DeAndre Ayton is my favorite play of the day, but so does the public, and now I don't know what to do.
Yeah, he's a really good play.
How do we manage that? Yeah, he's my number 1 guy. He's my number 1 guy on DraftKings. He's my number 1 guy on FanDuel. I assume he's my number 1 guy on Yahoo. Yep. but he's also 22% owned on both sites.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a spot where I end up coming in close to the field on him and then just being overweight on all the guys around him that people aren't playing.
Yep. You can get to Whiteside, Nance, Fareed, Turner, Siakam. All these dudes with center eligibility are just right around there. So while I don't disagree with it and he grades out better than most, I am on team smash Ayton, but keep an eye on his ownership. I can't imagine I get lower than where the public is, but I will be nervous to go much higher with how many centers are out there.
Yeah.
Just seems smart or not smart.
So, I mean, these can't be right.
What are you looking for?
He's only played 217 minutes with Booker since the start of January.
Booker was out for a hot minute, right?
Yeah, it just still seemed low.
Booker missed 2 games, so never mind. Ayton missed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
6 games. Yeah, I'm mashing him.
I'm trying to get like good rates for him alongside Booker without Warren, and it's just hard because him and Booker have been hurt so freaking much. So 335 minutes for the year alongside Booker without Warren on the floor, 1.08 points per minute for Ayton. Obviously, a good matchup though.
Yeah, I have him at 128 for this game, so might be something I need to look into. What do you have his usage rate at? What is his usage?
20.7.
Okay.
I have him at 1.24 points per minute.
Okay, I have him at 128, so we're on the same, basically the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love him. What about Booker? 8,400 on FanDuel, 83 on DK, 35 on Yahoo.
I like him a lot.
So do I.
1.26 points per minute with Ayton on the floor without Warren this year. 32.2% usage, 30% assist percentage.
I'm in for that. A little bit of Oubre, Jackson, or Bridges, I think, is fine. Any interest in Tyler Johnson?
Not really. I mean, he's cheap enough where if I get some, I think it's okay. But him playing alongside Booker isn't really that appealing to me.
Agreed. That's basically it here for me.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I'd be lying if I said that I'm not going to have any $3,700 Rashawn Holmes on DraftKings, especially with Ayton being chalk.
I get that. Ready to thrive?
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's get some props. Thrive Fantasy. Go to bit.ly/Awesemo. Get $10 on your first $10 deposit, 20 on 100, and 50 on 200. Adam and I are going to look at our favorite 5 props today. Let's refresh this. All right, first prop up. Well, let's go to this one. We don't usually talk about this guy. Kawhi Leonard, points plus rebounds, even action on both sides, 30.5.
Kevin Love's out.
Fair enough.
Sorry, 30.5.
Yes.
For Love or for Kawhi.
Yep.
It was a point. I didn't hear what the prop was.
Even 30.5 points plus rebounds.
Yeah, okay, points plus rebounds. Yeah, I'm smashing the over.
So am I. 35.5. Dennis Smith Jr., even action on both sides. Points, rebounds, and assists. 26.5. Oh my god.
Closer than the last one, but still over.
Yeah, I got 32.5.
I haven't adjusted his rates yet to where I think they actually should be, and so I'm a little bit low, but I still have him at like 29.
Yeah, so there we go. There's another over for us. Joel Embiid, points and assists. You get 110 for the over. 31.5.
31.5 points plus assists.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm passing on this one.
Yeah. I have whatever. I might I'm at like 31.1
Yeah, I'm at 29
or something.
I'm gonna walk away from this one. Who else stands out? All right, since he's chalk, I think we need to talk about it. Even action on both sides. DeAndre Ayton, 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
You said 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists? Or 32.5, now I see it.
32.5.
I think I'm close.
I have 34.4. I would probably stay away from that one.
I have 31.1.
Any of these props look good to you?
Luka.
I figured as much. 29.5, 105 for the over. You don't even have to look it up, right?
No. I just want to see how much I'm beating it by. Points plus assists. I have 35.2.
The total's 29.5, and you get 105 for the over. I have 31.8. So, yeah, I'm going to safely take that. Drive Fantasy, everybody. Sign up. Player props. NBA Strategy is the promo code, 50% off your first month with us. Make sure you hit that like button while you're here and comment after the video your favorite play and your favorite fade of the day. You have the chance to win a free premium all-access annual subscription to celebrate our lovely anniversary, which is today. It will get announced tonight on the Live Before Lock show. Do you want to take a look back at Cleveland to see how that impacts with Love out?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll close it out.
It
after
makes
that.
Larry Nance. Yeah, it makes me a lot less nervous about Larry Nance. I'm gonna go from.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna go from like I like Nance, but I'm concerned about his ownership to I'm just playing a shit ton of Nance, and then also it's obviously good for Marquise Chris.
I love that you messed up the Lance Nance thing like it's Tropic Thunder. Yeah. Lance, the fuck did I just say? I said Nance. I'm Al Pacino. All right, Marquise Chris minutes 24. Played 22, 23, and 24 in the 3 games.
Yeah, 24 seems right.
Okay. That means I still have 12 more minutes to assign to the 4. You think Adele gets some more time, potentially.
You could actually get a couple more minutes for Chris if Ante Zizic is out, because he played 24 last game with Love playing 16 or whatever.
Yeah. Oh shit. We need to be projecting Stauskas in. I didn't know he played 20 minutes.
I have, yeah.
I didn't even have him in here.
I didn't realize he played last game. I was thinking this was his first game.
Yeah, I didn't realize he played 20 minutes. That's just an oversight on me. I didn't have him added in. I guess I'll replace Tristan for right now. Who didn't play then?
Blossom game and Adele played 4 minutes.
Yep. All right, so Blossom game goes bye-bye. Dang, Adele is going to keep those minutes now because no real choice.
Blossom game can pick up the Love minutes.
So Delhi and Stauskas played 47 minutes together total. Sexton played 39. Clarkson played 20. Who's the 3 in this scenario?
Nwaba.
I don't.
And Clarkson.
Okay. Because I was going to say, like, I've got 96 minutes right now without giving Stauskas 20 or anything at the 1 and the 2. So let's go ahead and. This is not something we need to be doing on the show, but something I'll update right before we start. So ultimately, love Larry Nance. I like Marquise Chris as a punt.
Does Brandon Knight close this game and play 22 minutes?
I have him in for 14 right now.
Played 16 last game and started, and then just didn't play in the fourth quarter.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to do with this team. Tune in to the deeper dive to find out today. Lafayette will have the deep dive out in the early afternoon. Deeper dive at 4:45 because of the monster slate. Is this real? Did the Ravens
What?
really just trade Flacco to the Broncos?
It seems reasonable.
Yep. Craziness. There you go. And then live before lock tonight, Chris Spags, Fast City Fear, breaking down this slate, the final big slate before the All-Star break. We will be around tomorrow, though. And then tonight, 9 p.m., live before lock, PGA's Genesis Open. Ben Raza, Jason Roslin, breaking down the tournament for you. Lock tomorrow for PGA is at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So be ready for that. Adam, anything else?
Nope.
Alrighty, everybody. Best of luck. We will talk to you later.